When you got in, it was very hesitatingly you got into films, right? कि
I
अगर चलेगा तो चलेगा नहीं तो फिर कुछ और
Yeah,
कर
so for
लूंगी.
my mother, it was, do it and see how it goes. Though after my first screen test, she found me so bad that she, in fact, told the producer that I think you'll ruin your film by taking my daughter. You'll go
Seriously?
through losses. Better you don't take her. Because the producer was very keen to sign me, Salim Uncle. But my mom was smart enough to understand that I was not doing a good job. So she was like, I don't think you should take her. And he was like, no, 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 we'll take her and we'll see.
Which film was this?
Raje Ke Aagi Bharat.
Oh yeah.
My
Okay.
first film.
You're very horrible. I don't like it that your voice was dubbed in that.
No, it was
was
not
like,
dubbed in that. It was only dubbed in Gulam.
in Gulam. Acha.
Only in Gulam. In Raje Ke Aagi Bharat, it was my voice. But
That movie just didn't work for me. Like when I was like, I like your husky voice.
yes.
To think that somebody would think that that voice was not okay.
Yeah.
That why would
Yeah, but only in one film. But the rest of the films, of course, it's my voice.
Huh.
And I think my mom made it so simple for me. She said, do this film. It's an opportunity knocked on your door. It doesn't come all the time.
Huh.
See how it goes. If you don't like it, if things don't go, you can go back to doing what you were doing. And I found a lot of sense in that statement. It wasn't as if she was pushing me towards it. Because she knows me, I'm very like practical like that. And she said, see how it goes. And after my first film, there was no looking back because I got an offer for Gulam and then I got an offer for Kuch Kuch Hota Hai.
Yeah.
And then there was no looking back.
कुछ कुछ होता है. Did you have doubts कि छोटा रोल है नहीं करूँगी?
Not at all, because Karan was so clear with his narration. And I just found Karan to be such a honest and such a clear-headed filmmaker, because the way he came and narrated me the subject and what he said, and he was so passionate while he was narrating that I knew somewhere that Karan is going to make a mark in the industry, because he was just so clear. And the only thing I asked him is that, are you sure you want me to do this part? Because that time Kajal and Shah Rukh were a very hit pair after DDLJ. And he said that you leave it to me. So the very famous line, leave it to Tina. So he said, just leave it to me.
Okay.
And you don't worry about that. So I was like, okay, I trust you completely. And I don't know, I think when relationships or friendships are to be made, there is that magical thing that happens where you automatically trust a person blindly, and somewhere I had the faith that what Karan was saying was 100% the truth. Like there was no manipulation, or there was no hard selling of a film, or anything like that. He was just so pure as a filmmaker. And I kind of connected with him, and I said, yes, let's do it.
And you did Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna also.
Of course.
In that,
Yes.
Was there? I mean, it was the same kind of setup that you had. And now, when you look back, and at that time it was criticized. Maybe India wasn't ready for it, or something like that.
Maybe India wasn't ready.
But then
for
it was like way ahead of its times, right? That.
But it's always nice to be part of films that are way ahead of its times.
Yeah.
Because in history, when people talk about films, at least they'll remember our films as those films that actually spoke aloud to the nation, spoke to an audience who was yet not ready to face the truth.
Yeah.
And through such films,
And
there
it
were a
was
lot
happening.
of changes. Yeah, it was
But
happening.
It was happening,
And it made people uncomfortable because it made them see their own truth in their lives. And it's always difficult to reflect upon your own truth, and then when it happens in front of you on celluloid, it kind of, gives you a little jolt.
Yeah.
That
there are relationships which don't fit into definitions.
Yes, and not fit into definitions. It also doesn't probably fit in the social.
जो rules and regulations है, जो दायरे हैं,
हाँ,
उसमें fit नहीं होते कभी-कभी.
नहीं fit होते because everybody is probably trying to put on an act to fit into the social fabric of society, and they feel that one needs to live a certain way to be able to have the respect going. But today I think those things are blurred because today it's all about happiness, to choose happiness over what other people view you as. It's not anymore about what the other person thinks about you. It's more about self-reflection, that are you happy? Are you able to look in the eye and into your soul? You don't have to look into an eye of a stranger to be telling the stranger how happy you are. It's about, are you looking into the mirror and seeing yourself And deep inside your soul, are you really happy? And people are making decisions based on that today.
Yeah.
And I think that's why today a film like Kabhi Alvida Na Kehna speaks those uncomfortable truths.
Yeah.
And doesn't follow the societal norm as to just making a woman feel comfortable with the fact that she has a good human being as a husband, that he doesn't hit you, he loves you, and
In spite of that.
it's more.
Yeah.
It's even more than that. So just because your husband doesn't hit you doesn't make him the best husband in the world.
Yeah.
Or if a person loves you, it's important for you to love a person back. And sometimes, or not sometimes, I think the generation before has compromised so many times.
Yeah.
Where they have lived a life where they were happy with just having good husbands loving them, and they compromise with the fact that, okay, we will also do the same.
Yeah.
Not really thinking about their own wishes or their own passion. Because there is also something called, are you physically also attracted to the person you're married to?
Yeah.
Is this also an important conversation today? It is.
Yeah, it is.
And so many marriages today break because probably they're not attracted to their spouses.
Yeah.
So these were all the topics that probably were spoken in Kabhi Alvida, which at that time was uncomfortable.
And the second chance bit.
Yes.
There were many who, like you said, just said that हो गया अब इसके आगे नहीं कर सकते हैं. We've made that decision, we have to stay by that decision. But then in that movie, you said that maybe there are second chances.
Yes.
It's okay to be thinking of a second chance.
Yes, and I think there is so much social stigma for especially a woman, if she's the one who chooses to choose.
Yeah.
When a man chooses, somehow people are okay with it. But when a woman decides to choose, if she wants to be out of a marriage or she wants to be out of a relationship, that's always raises eyebrows.
Because at that time it was like, yeah, इतना sweet सा तो husband है.
Exactly.
क्यों निकल रही है from this,
Exactly,
But there were some who could empathize.
Because they are the ones who were going through it probably.
Yeah. That's true. But when a film gets that backlash and you're part of that and you understand that all those who made that film came from a good place. When they
See,
made
as I told you in the beginning of this podcast, as an artist, all you can do is have faith in the script that you choose to do and give you 100%. And after that, how an audience perceives it is not in our hand. They might have different opinions of the same film, but we have to be brave enough to be able to take both, because we believe in the film. And we can't let a film be alone just because the audience hasn't accepted it. We have to stand by our film.
There was this phase where everything that you were doing were hits, and you were acting with the biggest, all the three Khans you were acting with, and they each of them paired very well with you, and the movies were super duper hits and things. And then came a phase where it didn't do all that well. Suddenly, from Rani's always giving a hit to sometimes Rani can also fail. How did you go through that phase? And I'm asking you simply because so that youngsters who go through these ups and downs learn.
So what really grounded me from day one is when I came into the industry. As I told you, my father was not very keen. He said one thing to me which I kept in my mind always, like, how you have certain blueprints that you don't let it erase from your mind. And my dad said a very profound thing to me when I was starting off, because I was all of 16, 17 when I started. And he said, never get overexcited with success and never get disillusioned with failure, because these are the two things that are going to be constant with you in this career of yours in films. So I think that kept me going, because if you see success, you will also see failure. Your graph cannot always go like this. There is going to be a phase where you're going to go down, and that's the natural process. No one person can always be on top. You have to see the failure as well. But how you behave when you are successful determines how people treat you when you are down. And that is very important, that when you are successful, you have to make sure that you never treat anybody unfairly, because on your way down, you're going to meet the same people, And when you have respect in your failure, that is the true test of a human being or an actor or a person in any business, and that shows who you
Grit
are
and
as a person.
determination.
Yes, absolutely.
But and then you reinvent yourself from this utterly gorgeous love interest of all the successful actors, and doing the bubbly, the dancing, and the singing, the emotional bits, all those. Then you come up with Hitchki, and then you come with Mardani. How did you do that?
See, also what I feel,
consciously?
Smita, is like when we are now, right now, we are, as we speak, we are in the time of Durga Puja, 9 days of Navratri, 9 days, all different matas. Every day is a new explanation of what mata represents for us as, women. So we women go through phases in our life as well. When we are younger, we have a different kind of mindset and what we are attracted to. Then a phase is when when we are somebody's daughter, that's a different phase. Then we come to the student phase of our life, where we are learning. Then we come to a phase where we are the young, like we are exploring things for the first time, that phase. Then we come into a phase where we get married. That's a different phase. Then we have a child. Again, that phase is different. So as women, we also go through different phases in our lives. And like that, I feel that even in my career, I've also gone through those different phases where my attraction towards a particular script or towards a particular subject has been different with the certain ages that I've gone through in my life. And I think that has also reflected in my body of work. So when I do a particular film and there is a particular story that I feel should be told or that people should know, I think that became very strong with me. And with time, I think you are empowered as well as an actor, as who I am, like what I earned in my career, where I was empowered to be able to choose certain scripts or choose certain roles, which I could confidently do. Where I said that people will come to see not only me, but also the film that I'm doing, the story that I'm trying to portray or say, or the subject. So I think those are very, very important, because after a certain time, you don't want to just, the audiences have seen most of what you can do. And then you come with certain stories which you feel, yeah, this story is something that we'd like to watch. Like with Mrs. Chatterjee versus Norway. It actually made people sit back and realize that, okay, immigrants outside who make their homes outside, it's not a easy life for them. They also go through a lot of struggle, which many people didn't know.
Because you've done the glamorous immigrant one already.
Yes.
Wearing a off-shoulder dress and with the vacuum cleaner. I'll never forget that shot of yours. Or else the cafe, in France, was it? Where that you built Saif Wali film? Hum Tum.
Yes.
Yeah, in that
Yes.
that really picturesque
look. Yes, absolutely,
where you are...
absolutely. And then you see the truth.
So you've done that NRI, that pretty NRI, and that successful NRI, wealthy NRI one, and then you've done this.
Yeah.
So casting yourself. So what is the creative process, in the sense that do you prepare, internalize? Like you said, language you did.
Yes.
You took your mom as an inspiration. You did. What did you do for Hitchki? Like, did you practice?
Yes, yes, I had
speaking?
to, because I had to meet a lot of people who had the Tourette's. Because unfortunately, in my lifetime till then, I had never met a person who had a Tourette syndrome. But I had to be educated, and especially Brad, on whom the story, actually, he's the one who wrote the story, and the film was inspired by his life. So I spoke to him, I kind of interviewed him to kind of understand that what goes on in their head and how does the Tourette happen, like this entire Tourette syndrome, when does it become really heightened, and when is it that they're calmer? So you have to kind of understand to play a particular role. I did the same during Black, where I had to meet people with the challenges so that I could be one of them. So I had to know what is
Black
their...
difficult?
Of course. I had to learn the sign language. I also had to get into their minds, the emotional state, How are they? How do they react? Um, how do they think the world is? As simple as even the color of the sky, blue, we know that it's blue. How do they know what the blue color is? You know, as simple as that, or even calling for a glass of water, it's so easy for us. But for them, they have to sign that if they want a glass of water. So I think there are a lot of things that have been quite, I would say, career defining moments in my life where, as a person, it helped me be a better human being, or it helped me understand people better, helped me be more grateful for whatever I have. Because, in the everyday life that people live, being grateful has become a rarity, because everybody wants and wants and wants. People are not grateful for what they have. And I think that's something which is utmost important in our lives, to be grateful for whatever we have. Even if we have this much, we should be grateful. If we have so much, we should be grateful. Because we don't know at the other side of the river, another person might have lesser than you in every form.
So these films must be emotionally disturbing also. How do you get out of it? Like when you
I think for me, I don't need to get out of anything, because Smita, these are all things which help you emotionally to grow as a human being. The emotional education that you get through living life. I think the emotional growth that a person needs to have is also very important in one's life. You don't get in and get out so easily. I think these all help you become the person that you become eventually. And it also helped me, because when I became a mom, all these learnings really helped me, because as a mom, your child is looking at you for everything, because we are the first teachers for them. So it's important that as a mother, you show your child both sides of the coin, not just one.
But you stepped away from a complete career at that time, in the sense that you were really at the height, and you decided that this is the time that you want to be with the baby, so you took lesser assignments, lesser films, and for some time we didn't see you at all. And now
actually not really, because my Mardani one released in 2014, and I was with Hichki.
2 years, no?
Yeah,
she was,
yeah. Hichki came on to 2018, I believe. Yeah.
So for about 2 or 3 years, let's say, you took a break from. So women have to do this. Women actors have to do this balancing. Men don't get to do that at all, right?
Yes, because they don't have to go through a physical transformation, along with I think our emotional transformation as we become mothers. We also go through a physical transformation, and I'm very happy being a woman. I would not change this for the world, because I think men have really got left out on this beautiful, I would say, amazing thing that we women go through, is giving birth to a child, and that's the closest we come to God, I think, because we are creating a life, and God creates life. And mothers, in those 9 months, they become closest to God, because they are creating life inside of them. And that beautiful thing, men will never understand. And I feel sorry for them.
And also, I think it becomes easier to portray as an actor or as anybody. I mean, for a woman, that entire gamut of emotions, no, for a woman who's gone through that childbirth process, I think वो पूरा नवरस हो जाता है उसमें, and it becomes so much more richer.
No, but I feel it's like, okay, when they say that God probably entrusted us with having children, imagine if men had to have children.
Okay.
They would drive people mad. Right now, they have a lot of time in their hand. That's why they're having wars. If they had to have children, maybe there would be no war in the world, because they would be busy just preparing for the baby before, 10 years before, 10 years after. And
make
that
a big deal about it, right?
Yeah.
Namaste, Jai Hind. You're watching ANI podcast with Smita Prakash.
अगर हम उसको मस्जिद कहेंगे तो फिर विवाद होगा।
The issue is टूटा है क्या भारत?
400 पार का मतलब ये है कि संविधान खतरे में है।
क्या हम लोग ये निर्देश देते हैं कि फला को गिरफ्तार करके जेल डाल दें?
वही तो कह रहे हैं सब।
ये बेबुनियाद निराधार आरोप।
सच्चा सुनना चाहो देखो स्मिता प्रकाश ANI, it does not lie।